Hey everybody, Z Garcia here, and today I'm taking a look at some card sleeves. These are the Paladin card protection card sleeves, powered by NSKN Games, it says on the back, so I guess NSKN, the company, is behind these sleeves here. I believe there was a crowdfunding campaign for these. You have a whole bunch of sizes available. You've got these are standard American sizes. We've got these gigantic things. No idea what fits in here, but they make them. And a whole slew of different sizes, both smaller than these and bigger than these. So I'm going to be cutting to the table in just a second here, showing you the entire line very briefly, just so you get a look at the amount of different sizes they make. And then I'm going to be comparing these to a couple of other popular brands that I happen to have on hand, using the same sizing for, standard is what I'm going to go with, across the line there, and just talking about how I think they fit, how I think they feel, these sleeves. So there you go. Hopefully that'll be informational. If nothing else, you get to look at a whole bunch of sizes and perhaps find one that works for something you've been looking to sleeve in your game collection. So let's cut to the table, and I'll see you guys later. Here we go. So first, let's go ahead and go through the absolutely ridiculous amount of sizes that are offered by Paladin sleeves here. We've got here the three most common sizes, with the middle one being standard, or collectible card game size, so your Magic the Gatherings, all of those. Most games of that ilk will be the ones that fit in there. And then we've got these two, standard American and standard European, slightly different from this one. And so we've got that. Then we are going to check out the square ones. So we've got here different square sizes. Let's just set that aside. Here we've got a whole range of square ones that are all going to be sometimes very slightly different even. Like these two, the Kai and the Marcus here is 65 by 65, 70 by 70. Very hard to see that with the naked eye, but they are a little bit different. So we've got all of these available, and again, these are all square, 100 by 100 over here. So all of that. Then we can trend smaller, and we've got a whole bunch of these that are smaller than your standard card size. Well, we've got another square one here that's snuck into the smaller pile. These little guys, 51 by 51. All right, so there we go. Then we've got all of these here. We've got all sorts. This is a duplicate there, so we can get rid of that one, and we have two Arthurs, so we can get rid of those. I want to show you only the distinct ones, mind you. So here we go. Some smaller sizes available for, like small Fantasy Flight game sleeves. That's likely to be these right here. And of course, they'll tell you the size right on there, what they fit, the size they are. So we've got this entire line, and then we can trend up bigger than standard cards, and there's a whole slew of those as well. So let's take a look at that. We've got these, all of these different sizes. With those there, these are smaller than a standard size, 54 by 86. So those are the only ones. All the other ones are going to be bigger than a standard size. We've got these, we've got that. The Lucius over here are very wide cards, so 76 by 102 millimeters. So there we go, there's all of those. And then we can keep going up. Again, I haven't really shown you a repeat yet. So we've got all of these. Oh, here's another square one. No, not quite. These are 76 by 88, not quite square. So we've got all of these sizes here. Again, the amount available here, the different sizes, is just insane. If you need a sleeve for something, I can't imagine these guys don't make it. So we've got all of that stuff, including these big ones right here at 89 by 146, but that's nothing. Those aren't big. Those are what would qualify as medium in this line. So then we've got these. There we go. And by the way, these, you'll notice, they'll tell you millimeters on one side and inches on the other one. 4 by 5 inches. And they, of course, say the same thing on both sides, though, so you don't need to flip it over they will say 4x5 or the millimeters. And as you can tell, they all come with 55 sleeves. So we've got all of these gigantic ones, but it gets even more ridiculous because we've got these massive things. I mean, this is considerably bigger than my hand, some of these. So we got 127 by 153, 120 by 210, 130 by 195, and these monstrosities here. So 4 by 8 inches. We've got 101.5 by 203. So again, they're going with the inches there. They're just giving you the millimeters as well. So enormous things. This is, I assume, for player aids, for maybe a character in Arkham Horror, that kind of thing. A big, giant thing wouldn't qualify as a card sleeve, but they're kind of card sleeves. So there we go. Now, what we're going to do next is then compare, and I'm going to use the standard ones for this, the most, likely to be used, to some other brands. So let's check that out. So here we've got the Percival line of cards, card sleeves. These are, again, standard board game / CCG premium sleeves. 55 of those. And I'm going to be comparing these to a couple of other well-known card sleeves. We've got Gamegenic here with the same size standard card game. That's their gray line, their gray code. And then with these Sleeve Kings, which are also standard card game sleeves. Again, you have to be careful here because standard European, standard American, and standard are 3 different sizes. So this is not what's called standard American. They're just called standard. All right. So we got the 3 here. This one with 55, 55 and Sleeve Kings. And then Gamegenic gives you 50 in a pack. Obviously, I'm not discussing prices here because that does fluctuate. You can just look that up. But just be aware these bring 5 more in each. And then we're going to use our good friend Crossbones here to illustrate our points. So let me switch these 2 around like so. And then we have here the 3 characters sleeved in the corresponding sleeves below them. So starting with the Paladin here, I think it's a really good fit and it's a very good feeling sleeve. So the thickness is on point, doesn't feel too stiff, but by no means is this a cheap sleeve. This is not a throwaway sleeve. It feels sturdy, it feels great. Sleeves very well, not a lot of dead space around it, but also not too little that you feel that card poking out the top constantly, which I don't like that feeling myself. Which brings us to Gamegenic. Gamegenic also has a very good fit side to side. I think it's just enough on the outside where you can easily sleeve and unsleeve. Now this one happens to be the frosted one, but they make both. You can get the frosted one or you can get the perfectly clear one. The one thing about the Gamegenic sleeves, the standards, is they have very little clearance at the top. Compared to the Paladin, there are, I would say, a couple of millimeters difference. Maybe 1, and that seems to be enough. Maybe 1 millimeter difference at the top. So yes, you're going to get that feeling of every now and then needing to grab the entire stack and sort of just tap it on the table to get everybody to sit back in there, to settle back in, because you're going to get a little poking out the top. It just barely clears the top. Still, not bad, and also very good quality. Then we got Sleeve Kings, who are also very good quality, but are a considerably more loose fit than both of these. You have a decent amount of clearance on the outside and a very large amount of clearance at the top as well. So very forgiving size here, and if you like this kind of fit, then this is the one for you. Sleeve Kings is the one for you. I don't like that feeling of there being a lot of wasted space around it. I want a good fit on the cards. So this one for me, if I was selecting between all 3, while it feels very good, would be right away out. Especially again for standard cards, which is what we're looking at. These cards being from Marvel Champions, which is, for all intents and purposes, a collectible card game, right? A living card game. So then it would leave me with these two. This one is the outlier there because of the loose fit. These two, I would compare then the thickness and the feel of the cards, and I think they are comparable, with maybe the Gamegenic one feeling a little bit thicker, and I'll double check and see if they list microns, though I did not see it on the Paladin cards here. But I would say the Gamegenic ones feel a little bit thicker than these Paladin ones, but the fit is just a little bit better. They're very close, mind you, very, very close, and they're almost the same fit. I'm also looking at these matching up one corner here, and it looks like the Gamegenic is also just a hair wider as well. So there we go. Basically, if you like a tight-fitting sleeve, I think the Paladins are a great choice. They really seem to have nailed the size, at least for this category, the standard category, with enough room around the card where you're not going to be struggling sleeving fairly quickly, but not so much that it's bothersome to use these. I've already gone ahead and put these on a deck of cards. I have it right over here. This is my little Groot deck here, and they shuffle very well. They have a great fit. They have a good thickness. My shuffling ability, of course, not part of the review. But yes, these feel just right. They're also very slippery, so be aware of that. If you have a large stack, they will start slipping and sliding everywhere. Of course, that'll wear off as you're using the sleeves themselves. But a really nice fit. Not loose, not too big. Also, not too unforgiving with the space around it. I think these are a great choice. And just the insane line that they have, the amount and variety of sizes, also means they are a very good choice if you're looking for an unorthodox sleeve size. Something you might be having a hard time finding. You can probably get it from this line, it would seem to me. So there you go. If I was ranking all three of these, this is probably the order in which I would rank them. Again, I'm specifically talking, of course, about this size, but if you're feeling generous, you can apply this to the whole line. For one thing, Gamegenic's not going to make nearly as many different sizes. So Paladins, really good stuff. Gamegenic, a little shallow, a little short, but also very good, and they feel really quality. And then Sleeve Kings, pretty good. Quality, I would say, comparable to Paladin here, but quite large. Their sizes are a little too big. They run a little big for me. So there you go, everybody. That is, let's get these guys out of here. That's some Paladin sleeves for you. Hopefully, this is useful to give you an idea of the kinds of things you'll be able to sleeve, and just some general talking points about the quality of the sleeves themselves. All right, there you go, folks. Thanks very much for checking this out with me. My name is Z Garcia. I want to see you on the next one.